Welcome the students of class 7. Welcome to our social science geography class. And today in this class, today we are going to discuss the chapter number 7 of your geography from your geography book, and it is in page number 48. So previous class I have already discussed the 7th chapter, the beginning of the 7th chapter, that was discussed about the human environment, settlement, transport and communication. And I have just introduced you about the settlement, what is the meaning of settlement, and a small story along with the definition. Now today in this class we are going to discuss types of settlement and transport. These are the very important, some two important features of any human environment. Okay, so in previous class I have discussed a conversation about about a girl that is called Maya and with her friends, and what are the interaction happened with them. So from that conversation we can identify that two different pictures of settlements. Okay, so those have not attended that class, so I will tell you about the story once again. Okay, that it was a Mary's birthday party. What is the story? That it was a Mary's birthday party, and she and her friends were waiting for Gurpreet to arrive so that Mary could cut the cake. Gurpreet is a friend, and at last Gurpreet arrived, and tired very much, coughing and wheezing, and she explained that the traffic jam was terrible, and Mary's mother, Mrs. Thomas, patted Gurpreet's back and sighed, and the pollution is our city. So in this way, and Prasad had recently come from his village, another friend, that is Prasad, and he asked, why do we have such traffic jams and such pollution in the cities? So the number of vehicles is increasing day by day due to the growing population in these cities. So Mary's father, Mr. Thomas, then replied that Mary asked, then why are people coming to the cities? Then her mother replied that they come for looking for jobs, better education and medical facilities. So Mary's father inquired, if so many people keep coming to cities, where will all the people live? So it is also a very intelligent question of Mary, that Mr. Thomas said that this is why you see so many slums and squatter settlements where people stay in congested and unhygienic conditions, and storages of power and water supply are some common problems in those slums and cities. So Prasad said, our village may not have big cinema halls, well equipped schools, good hospitals, but we have lot of open spaces and fresh air to breathe. And when my grandfather, but there is some problem, that when my grandfather was sick, we had to rush him to the city hospital. It is a very long distance from the village. So these are some advantages and disadvantages of the cities and villages. Now from that conversation and from that story we can understood the two different pictures of the settlements. Number one, rural settlement, and number two, urban settlement. Okay, so what is rural settlement? You have to know first that the rurals and the villages are rural settlements where people are engaged in activities like agriculture, fishing and forestry, craft working and trading, etc. And rural settlements can be compact or scattered. It is not, sometimes it is very much compact, and sometimes it is scattered among some areas. So a compact settlement is a closely built area of dwellings, whereas wherever flat land available, and in a scattered settlement dwellings are spaced over an extensive area. And this type of settlement is most found in the hilly tracts, the scattered settlements, because in the hilly region it is very difficult to build houses. So they usually build houses keeping distances among them. Okay. And also there are some thick forests and regions also there, and regions of extreme climate. So that's why people usually not choose to live in the forest regions, except they have depend on the nature, or except they have depend on the forest. Okay. So from this area we can see that in rural settlement there are another two divisions. One is the very compact settlement, and another one, it is the scattered settlement. Okay, so these are the two types of settlements. Now in the rural area, people build houses to suit their environment. Okay, so in regions of heavy rainfall they have slanting roofs, and this type of roofs also you can see this type of roofs in the region of heavy snowfall, because snow almost they covered the roof, so that's why it is easy to clean the roofs. Okay, if the roofs are slanted position, but if it is flat then it is very much difficult to clean the roofs. So places where water accumulates in the rainy season, the houses are constructed on raised platform to stilts. Okay, stilts means a elevated platform. Stilts also used to cultivate some kind of crops like okay, some palm leaves. Okay, it is also cultivated on the stilts. So it is usually they made some stilts and elevated platform with the bamboo and wood, and then they construct their houses, because the land usually flooded with water, that in those areas where water accumulates, means water accumulates in the rainy season. Okay, so thick mud walled houses with thatched roofs are very common in areas of hot climate. So this type of houses, this is elevated, okay, in a with the elevated stilts, they have built these houses where water accumulates, and but in some areas you can see that some houses also made like this. Okay, this type of houses were made with mud in some villages or towns. Okay, and they used to use as the to make the roofs as the plants, so the paddy plants, and local materials also used like stones, mud, clay, straw. Okay, the straw are used to construct these type of houses. Okay, so straws also used to construct, because it is in hot and humid weather, it is very pleasant to live in this type of houses. So those students are belong from the villages, they can understood that easily, they can understand that how was the feeling when you live inside this type of villages. Okay, so the walls are made with bricks and covered with earth. Okay, mean, and also the roofed, the thatched roof made with straw. Okay, also situated in a muddy elevated platform. So the towns are small, but what happened in the towns? The towns are small and the cities are larger than urban settlements. So in urban areas, the people are engaged in manufacturing, trading, and services. And name some other some of the villages. Okay, so there is an activity that name some of the villages, towns, and cities of your state. So you can easily name them. Okay, so you can write the some of the name of the cities and towns in surrounding your areas in our chat box in e-portal. Okay, you will inform that, mention. I will check that. So the towns are small and the cities are large urban settlements. So, and in urban areas you can see the apartments, the big apartments were made because there are a lot of population. So to give, because that's why the place is not available for everyone. That's why the big apartments, sometimes it is the 32 stories, 40 stories, even the highest building that was made in some buildings are in Gurgaon, okay, in or Gurugram in Haryana. So those buildings are very high, or in Greater Noida in UP. So those cities, those new cities, some buildings are very tall because the places are not available. So that's why they made some huge buildings, almost 80 stories. Okay, so these are the, and in the world, in other countries such as Burj Khalifa, it is 110 stories building, so it is the highest building of the world. So this type of buildings also made in such as in USA, there is Empire State Building, it is very in New York, it is a very high building. Okay, so in this way the towns, when the places are not available, so they made some apartments and big buildings with multiple stories for the settlement. So students, you have understood what is the difference between urban settlement and rural settlement. Now the next subunit I'll discuss, that is the transport. So in the next class I'll discuss about the transport, because not much time left. So thank you for watching this. See you in the next class with the another subunit, transport. Bye.